Hey everyone, Dr. Brianne Callanan here. We are going to review why it is so important to stop trying to discover your passion and why purpose is more powerful. This is going to be the pre-video to our Thursday live call that we'll all hop on together, and I'll send you the link for that. And the reason why discovering your passion is really important, but really why purpose is more powerful is because many gurus, coaches, personal development junkies, they have this intention to share with you that it's so important to discover your passion and presumably follow your passion once you found it. But following your passion is pretty straightforward. Once you discovered it, you do it. And that's quite it. You got it. But there is a vital flaw in this notion of discovering your passion. It gives the impression that your passion is hiding somewhere, waiting only to be found, right? And that's really not what it's all about. And discovering your passion and the impression that your passion is hiding somewhere, waiting only to be unearthed, this perpetuates the myth that finding one's passion is like falling in love at first sight. And aha, there you are, you've been waiting your whole life to find it. But this isn't at all how passion works. Passion is not something that you have to find, it's something that you develop. The reason this misunderstanding is so important is because many of the people who are determined to discover their passion, they really get frustrated and disappointed when they don't find it. They feel like they're trapped in this wild goose chase or this never-ending hunt or this phantom light bulb moment, which the reality is they are. They think that there must be something wrong with them. And they judge themselves for not having that one thing that clearly stands out as their ultimate passion. They don't love anything so much that they dedicate their lives to it, or that they are so enamored with that, they're getting that frothing at the mouth sensation. And it becomes even more frustrating for those who also expect this passion to be paired with a distinguished talent. And when they find themselves unable to unearth any latent talent or hidden passions despite their obsessive digging, they question their entire existence. The good news is that this conundrum can be overcome because it's based on a belief system that is totally flawed. The truth about passion is that it develops over time. You are not born with it. It is not a latent emotion that needs to be only triggered. And it doesn't show up in your life with an explosion of fireworks. Passion is cultivated, and it begins as often an undetectable interest. So I'm sorry if that disappoints you, but I promise this new way of looking at passion will lead to greater fulfillment than believing that your passion is locked away somewhere and you haven't found the key. So the 6 characteristics of passion development that we're going to discuss are as followed. Number 1, passion often develops accidentally. It begins as an interest or an inclination. You have an unintended experience that triggers intrigue, whether it's a science fair experiment in elementary school, a guest speaker in high school, or an enthusiastic college professor who made an otherwise uninteresting topic suddenly appealing. Once this interest is triggered, you follow the impulse and you look into it. Sometimes the interest quickly fades, and other times you continue to seek and learn more to experience it again. Also, passion takes encouragement and exposure. In most cases, the initial encounter with the object of interest isn't really enough to seal the deal of passion. It takes multiple events and experiences that re-trigger the interest over time. Having a mentor or a parent encourage further exploration or future exposure is often the catalyst needed to anchor a stronger interest in the topic. Passion also isn't always enjoyable. Passion begins as following interests that you find intrinsically enjoyable. You continue to follow that interest because you enjoy what you're doing. However, as your interest becomes more developed and it begins to develop into a passion and you get more involved, it becomes more challenging. And there may even be aspects of the activity that you don't like where you really feel as though it is a chore. But as the level of passion develops, the benefits outweigh the costs. Passion also doesn't require talent or skills at first. By definition, when we are first beginning at anything, it starts out as something that we're not good at. Passion starts with play or a willingness to explore for curiosity's sake, not for the reward of being good at it. This is one of the things that often holds people back from developing their passion. They're unwilling to do something that they're bad at. Even in situations where some level of natural ability may be required, true skill and talent are developed over time, so stick with it. Passion takes practice. In order for proficiency developed, which really requires a deeper level of exploration and further development of your passion, time and effort must be applied. For an interest to develop into a passion, the knowledge or activity, it has to become second nature. The skill or expertise must be developed, and this ability allows the activity to reach a higher level of enjoyment when it leads to a state of flow. You can think of this as anytime you've driven a car and you kind of look up when you get to the place where you are intending to go and you're like, wow, I kind of did that on autopilot. This is when we've fully developed a passion. It becomes unconsciously ingrained or more of an autopilot leading to a state of flow. And in order to reach this level of mastery, it takes deliberate practice. When you first stepped behind the wheel, you were always thinking, okay, press the gas, turn, 2 hands on the wheel, turn right, hit the blinker. It wasn't unconscious. But after a lot of time and a lot of practice, it becomes unconsciously effortless for you. And not simply exposure or repetition can create this level of mastery. It's the commitment to improving through hours a day spent dedicated to developing this passion or endeavor. And having purpose behind your passion really amplifies the passion. When passion is directed towards a higher purpose, a higher level of meaning and fulfillment can be achieved. Purpose is the conviction that what you are doing matters because it's integrally connected to the well-being of others. And when you can see the impacts your passions make, you feel even more strongly about what you do. So, what do you do if you don't have a fully developed passion? Well, first, let yourself off the hook. It's completely okay. Recognize that a life spent moderately pursuing various interests will not lead to a clearly identified passion, and that's okay. Stop trying to force it. It's never too late to pursue your interests. And having a single high-intensity passion is not required for a fulfilling life. Second, being that what you do, you already know, which means even your interests, even if they're small or moderate, follow the trail. Deep down, you know certain things that you have absolutely no interest in and others that you do. And allow yourself just to explore those things that interest you. And think of it as play. Just do it for fun, explore, see what happens. Third, be open to trial and error. Don't be afraid to guess if you're not sure. There isn't just one thing you can become passionate about. And don't be afraid to stop pursuing any interests that lose their appeal over time. Trying many things, even more than once, is how interests are identified and developed. Lastly, consider if any of the characteristics of passion development have been holding you back. Have you allowed yourself to follow your impulses or interests? Or do you brush them off as unimportant? Have you put yourself in situations where you could have more exposure to the interests or get more support? Or do you live within the boundaries of your comfort zone? Have you allowed yourself to move forward even in the face of unpleasant aspects of your interests? Or have you expected perfection and rejected any hard work necessary? I've always been a perfectionist, recovering from that, so if that's you, I can definitely relate. Have you allowed yourself to try and fail? Or have you avoided your interests because you aren't good at them? Failure is how you learn. You have to continue to fail and be okay with it. That one's really important. Have you applied yourself to deeper exploration through deliberate practice? Or have you let the development of your passion up to chance or when you feel like it? You have to constantly put effort in. Have you considered the impact you would like to make in the lives of others and the meaning that you would bring to this pursuit? Again, passion that has a purpose is even more fulfilling. And the last question is perhaps the most important of all. Okay. And that last one was, have you considered the impact you would like to make in the lives of others and the meaning this would bring to the pursuit? So if you can have a passion that can also benefit other people, it's going to be really, really rewarding. Purpose is more powerful than passion. Sometimes focusing beyond the narrow confines of one's own interests and embracing the broader implications of our life's pursuit can be much more of a motivator than simply the feeling of passion. Not only does passion focus towards making a difference in the lives of others take the experience of following one's passion to another level, it can also be the trigger for the passion in the first place. If there was a shortcut to passion that bypassed the long journey of the interest development, it would be calling to fulfill a higher purpose, a deep desire to contribute that stirs up yourself at a personal level can be just the catalyst you need to dive full body into an activity. And once you're engaged at such a high level, we are compelled to continue our exposure to our cause. We are driven by a deep level of fulfillment, and we deliberately commit to continuous improvement. Passion is born. And this is why I believe that discovering your purpose is such an important aim, so much better than just focusing on passion. Shoot for making a difference in the world that you are uniquely able to make, and the passion will follow. We have a guest. Say hi.
Oh, does that do the picture
Yeah.
that sends it to there?
Yeah. So that is
I'm
your...
actually not in the video. I have to be in front of there.
Yeah. You want to say hi?
So I can...
Okay. So that was the video that I want you to watch and consider. I have typed out everything that I said in this video for you to watch in the worksheets as well. So review that, and then we'll hop on our Thursday call. We're going to attempt to get these rascals to bed again. Talk soon.